Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Are there any additions to the agenda? Seeing none.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, visitors to be heard. See none. We will go to the minutes from the July 25th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 25th meeting.
I second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Kyle?
Construction update, we're up to, as of Monday, 141 permits since the New Year's. Some of the bigger ones, we got roughly a dozen new homes out in the countryside. Gained one on South Main. Yeah, South Main. 6 commercial projects going on. August 2023 total permit values was roughly 1.5 million at 19 permits. Last month, August 2024, for commercial we had roughly 5 million in permits for 2 permits, and then 750,000 for residential. 18 permits in residential in August.
Are those numbers like summarized through the year from January till then, or is it just the month?
So I total up August 2023. So that's all the permits from August last year, and then I do it for August of this year.
I see.
And I do a month behind since we're not done in September. I figured that'd give a little more of a bigger picture, I guess, than doing 20 days.
Is there any way to like add up like what they were to date, like January of 23 to August of 23, like with that August 23 one, and then like 20, like the year up to like 24?
You mean like include from
Year to date.
Yeah, like
Year
year
to
to
date.
date basically.
and then last year at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can add that.
Yeah, I just think like month to month would be just as, if not more beneficial.
Okay. Any other questions for the construction side, building side? So for my code enforcement update, I went for violations from August 23rd to September 23rd. And I had roughly 6 for parking on grass violations, 10 tall grass and weeds, 2 for excessive branch piles, 2 for inoperable vehicles, 2 for building without a permit, and then 3 for rubbish and junk. And then on the 18th of September, the city did perform an abatement at 405 North Cedar. I don't know if you're aware of that property, had probably 5-6 piles of just down trees and branches. We were able to get 3 of the 5 piles. The remaining 2 we're gonna leave. Hopefully the winter can take care of those. Just because of the construction going on in Rummel, we didn't want to drive completely across this person's yard just to get to them. So we probably pulled 3 to 4 dump truck loads worth of branches and thick tree trunks. Probably the same with a dump trailer pulled behind a 1-ton. It's quite the task. Any questions?
I have a question. Okay, the houses that have been pulled down, like there's one on Main and, okay. Where do they go? Do they belong to somebody, or did the city take them over, or what process did you go through?
So the one on 300 block of South Main. That one, we went through the whole legal process, and eventually the homeowner agreed to sell. And he sold it to a guy that happened to do,
Okay.
he used to work for, I think, Sukup, so he had all the equipment. He demoed the house, and now he owns it. He eventually plans on building a house on that.
Okay.
And then the one in the corner of South Main and Boynton, that was just, I know the house, I think, was foreclosed for.
Gene
Wow.
Cooper bought it and tore the house down
And it's just a lot for now.
For now, yeah, I'm
and,
assuming.
yeah, there was some other stuff. He was trying to acquire some other stuff and, yeah, right now it's just gonna be an empty lot. For now.
That's great. I just was curious as to what happens to them and what happens to the people that own them.
Yeah, like, so as far as I know, both those houses, nobody lived in them for years.
And I'm sure they weren't paying their taxes or.
The one on the 300 block was, I believe. I have to go back and look at that one.
That's
but-
all right, I'm just curious.
Yeah, he just, I think, realized the cost of demoing it was too much, he just wanted to get his hands.
Right, didn't have the money to do anything with it.
Yep. He didn't have really attachment to it, so he sold it.
All right, we'll go on to the new business. Plat for track 2 of the Burink edition.
So the city has received an application for a new plat within our planning jurisdiction. Plats were submitted to the city of Lennox that lie outside the municipal boundary, but within the city's planning jurisdiction, which happens to be 3 miles from the boundary, and it must be approved by the planning commission and city council. I believe I printed off the map for them. But the plat before the commission tonight has met the city requirements and has been reviewed and recommended for approval by the city engineer and city administrator. The pre-annexation agreement has been executed by the applicant and is prepared for approval. Staff recommendation is motion to approve plat of track 2, the Benrick edition.
Seems pretty straightforward.
See, there's an easement already there, or like, I imagine Stockwell push that for a 35-foot easement for city of Lennox municipal easement.
Yep.
Suppose that's for a future road someday.
I'm assuming so. The letter from the city engineer doesn't mention it, but
Yeah, all
they don't have
the,
any comments, and then they offer recommendation.
all the new plats that we do, they put those in, just if the city ever gets there, the easement's there. It's not a issue down the road. Yep.
That's a funny pun.
Down the road.
Motion to approve the plat in hand.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We will adjourn at 7:10.
Oh, wow. You know, when you have to drive 12 miles here and 12 miles back, and we're here 5 minutes, you need to be more creative.
Well,
Come up with something.
Cindy, most of them have been longer than this one.
Yeah.
This is the
Yes,
shortest one we've
that's
had in a
true.
long, well,
That's
last month we didn't even have one, did we?
no,
Right, so I suppose that's shorter than this.